Okay, no? Voidable marriages na tayo. No? So, sa voidable marriages, itakil ko muna yung general concepts of voidable marriages. Tapos, punta tayo doon sa grounds, to sa table na ginawa ko sa taas, no? So, what are voidable marriages? These are marriages that are considered valid. Tandaan nyo. Until it is set aside by final judgment kasi na-annul siya. Okay? So, ibig po sabihin, well, ano ba implications nito? Unang implication niya, dahil voidable marriage ito, no? Dahil voidable marriage ito, yung anak legitimate, okay? Conceived or born before a final and executory judgment, no? Annulling the marriage, lahat ng anak na na-conceive or pinanganak, legitimate po. And of course, yung ating property regime, isa pang important, absolute community. No, hindi po Article 147 at saka 148 kasi nga valid yung marriage until it was annulled. Okay? So, ibig po sabihin, pag nagkaroon ng dissolution, nagkaroon ng partition, yung pong provision sa absolute community ang mag-govern. Okay? So, alam nyo na yan. So, kung absolute community, kung ani kay Juan, kay Maria, kung ani kay Maria, kay Juan. So, one half po sila dyan. Subject na rin sa mga exclusive properties ng each spouse which we will tackle later on sa property regime, no? Siyempre, may mga exclusive yan. Pero lahat nung hindi exclusive, hati sila dyan, one half. Okay. So, ayan, nailagay ko na dito, no? Children, legitimate, and property regime, no? Absolute community, conjugal partnership of gains, kung may prenup, ayan, prenup, very timely, okay? Complete separation of property, pwede rin kung may prenup, no? It can never be Article 147 at saka 148 kasi 147, walang marriage or mayroong legal impediment. 148 legal impediment din. Okay. So, we will tackle 147, 148 also later. No? The defects of avoidable marriage can be ratified or confirmed by free cohabitation or prescription. No? What is free cohabitation? No? Ade, ano, ano tawag dito? Hindi na siya pinupuwersa. No? He or she freely cohabited with the other spouse. No? Wait, yung free cohabitation, it was mentioned how many times, no? Bago pala tayo in-depth. How many times was this phrase mentioned sa Article 45? It was mentioned sa force intimidation, undue influence. It was mentioned sa fraud, no? So tatlo. Unsound mind, fraud, at saka force intimidation or undue influence, no? So, 6 yan, 3 out of 6 nabanggit yung free cohabitation. So, yung pong defect ng isang voidable marriage, paano po siyang nako-confirm? Paano po siya magpalang confirm? Paano siyang nakaratify yung defect? Kasi nga, you ratify something that is voidable, no? Free cohabitation or prescription. Prescription is lapse of time, which we will also tackle later on. Free cohabitation, case-to-case basis yan. No? No? So hindi po siya don't interpret it na kailangan may free cohabitation ng 5 years sabihin natin o may free cohabitation ng 4 years. Hindi po ganoon. They are independent reasons, grounds para ma-ratify yung voidable marriage. Sabihin natin, may force. May force, no? Nawala yung force. Tapos sabihin natin 2 years nagmamahalan na talaga sila. No? Kahit po within the prescriptive period pa yan kasi 4 years ang prescriptive period for force eh. Pero kung sa 2 taon na yun, nagmamahala na talaga sila, we can say na ratified na po yung voidable marriage kasi nga nagkaroon na ng free cohabitation, hindi na siya by force. So either way po, no? Either way. Okay? So petition for annulment of judgment may be dismissed if the parties freely cohabited after the cessation of the cause, even if the prescriptive period has not prescribed. So, itong example ko, 2020, nagpakasal sila, inobtain yung consent by violence, intimidation. 2021, nag-cease po yung, excuse me, yung violence. 2022, nag-cohabit pa rin sila. No? So nag-cease na po yung violence, they still lived under under the same roof, in the same house. So on 2023, A filed a petition for annulment of marriage. Annulment of judgment, annulment of marriage. Will the petition prosper? No. Kasi may free cohabitation na po even within the prescriptive period. Okay? So when answering a question, check for the word cohabitation or free cohabitation. Okay? Kasi independent po siyang ground, no? Ulitin ko, to dismiss the petition for annulment of marriage. Okay, so tapos na tayo dyan. Next, avoidable marriage can be assailed only in a direct proceeding and cannot be attacked collaterally. Compare natin. Yung pong void marriage, it can be attacked collaterally. Bakit? Eh, sa estate settlement ka eh. Settlement of estate case, pwede mong erase yung validity ng marriage eh. Para ma-disqualify yung spouse as an heir. It's allowed, di ba? It's possible to be collaterally attacked. Saka po kasi, void po kasi yan eh, di ba? It's void from the very beginning. It is as if it did not exist. That's why, collateral attack is allowed po talaga. Okay? So, on the other hand po, sa voidable marriage, direct proceeding lang po. Hindi ko po kayo, ayokong pahirapan, no? Pero similar po ito sa oblicon ulit. No? Sa oblicon din po, ang void contract, pwedeng i-collateral attack, pwedeng i-direct attack, pero ang voidable contract, direct lang. Okay? Kailangan may petition for annulment of contract ka doon. Okay? Petition, action for annulment of contract. Anyway. So, ayan. No? So, example. In a petition for settlement of estate of a deceased husband, can the heirs of the husband assail the voidability? Hindi void, but the voidability ha? Hindi voidness. Pag sinabi mong void, pwede. Ulitin ko kasi natakal nga natin to doon sa discussion natin doon sa March 15, 2003, di ba? Pwede talaga siya. Ito, ang tanong natin, voidability. Okay, no, because collateral attack is prohibited for voidable marriages. Kung gusto, ibig po sabihin, kailangan ma-erase, no? Ma-erase yung void, yung ground, no? To annul the marriage during the lifetime of the spouses. Okay? Kasi ayan, no, avoidable marriage can only be questioned. Tinan mo, nauna ako doon sa reviewer ko. Avoidable marriage can be questioned only during the lifetime of the spouses and not after the death of either. Kung namatay na, di pa kinasale, the parties and their children will be left as if the marriage had been perfectly valid. Bakit? Kasi nga direct attack lang ang pwede. Eh pag namatay na, yung isang asawa, paano kapag magdi-direct attack? Yun ang point ko. Eh namatay na nga. Ba't ka papayagan ng court na mag-petition for annulment of judgment? Eh the marriage is already dissolved due to the death of either spouse. Wala ka ng chance. On the other hand, dahil collateral attack po, pwede sa void marriage. Okay, pwede ka pang umattack after the death of either or both spouses sa settlement of estate case. Sana po nagiget nyo. Ganyan dapat ang pag-aaral. No? You need to dig deeper. Hindi lang yung basic na, okay, ito collateral, itong isa direct. O, ganun. Something like that. Hindi ganun. Or itong isa pwede sa lifetime, itong isa pwede sa death. I-question. Wag lang ganun. You need to dig deeper. Why is it like this? And how are these principles connected to each other? Diba? Connected siya yung during the lifetime at saka direct collateral attack. So, you get the point, no? Okay. So, okay na tayo dyan. Okay, let's go back to the grounds, no? So, dito po sa grounds, ito po, no, based naman sa bar exams, hindi po kasing important yung grounds ng voidable marriage compared sa void marriage. Mas tinatanong po talaga yung void marriage. However, gusto ko po talagang i-discuss din yung sa voidable eh, kasi magagandahan ko no, yung mga grounds. Una, at least 18 years of age but below 21 and without the consent of the parents and so on. So tandaan nyo po, both parents must consent kung parehong buhay. Pag hindi sumang-ayon yung tatay na ikasal yung kanyang anak, hindi pumirma yan sa parental consent. Pinipirmahan yan eh. Hindi pumirma, voidable yun. Kasi nakalagay po sa Article 45 with an S. Parents. Hindi naman sinabing parent. Okay? Pag may isang hindi sumang-ayon, voidable yan. Okay, so ganito lang, i-correlate natin. Below 18, void. At least 18, below 21, walang consent, voidable. At least 18, below 21, may consent, valid. 21 and above, valid na po. No? Ang kailangan lang dyan, yung sabihin natin walang consent, kailangan ng counseling. Pero ano lang yun, parang seminar lang, no? Hindi ito yung kasing vital as parental consent. Okay, next, unsound mind. So, sira ang ulo, no? Ito pala yung unless after 21. Sorry, mali ako. Sabi ko kanina, 3 out of 6. Mali. 4 out of 6 pala may free cohabitation. Okay, 4 out of 6. Okay? So, namali po ako, 4 out of 6, no? Free cohabitation, free cohabitation, free cohabitation, free cohabitation. Ito isa fraud. Yung isa force intimidation, undue influence, yung FIU na yan. Physically incapable of consummating the marriage, no? It continues during the marriage and it appears to be incurable. And lastly, afflicted with sexually transmitted disease, serious, appears to be incurable. Tandaan po natin, from 1 to 6, 6 yan, no? 6 lang yan. Wala nang iba pa. Kailangan po, the defect must exist at the time of the marriage. Hindi po nasiraan ng ulo during the marriage. Dapat sira na ang ulo at the time of the solemnization of the marriage. Same thing po sa STD. Ito pong STD na to. Dapat may STD ng serious and incurable nung nagpakasal. Hindi po after. Okay? Anyway, kaya ako gusto i-tackle to kasi nga it's kind of complicated. Okay, anyway. So, tandaan po natin 18 to 21 walang consent, voidable. Pag may consent, valid. Okay, dito po tayo sa fraud. Ito pong fraud na to, no? Wait, before we do that pala, tatakip ko na lang yung mas madali. Itong force intimidation, undue influence at saka physically incapable of consummating the marriage. So get nyo na to. Para lang itong vices of consent sa oblicon, di ba? May force intimidation, undue influence. So get nyo na yan. Pinuyersang magpakasal. Okay? Through force, through intimidation, through undue influence, get na natin yan. Dito tayo sa physically incapable of consummating. So may dalawa po yan. Yung isa, baog. Yung isa, incapable talaga. Ang tawag po sa baog, sterile. Pag po sterile ang isang spouse, hindi po siya ground to annul the marriage. Not a ground. Okay? Not a ground. Kasi capable siya of consummating. Ibig sabihin, a sterile person is capable of having sexual intercourse. So ano po ibig sabihin ng physically incapable of consummating the marriage? Impotent po ang tawag dito. Kung sa guy, hindi po nagiging erect yung penis, no? Sa girl naman, sobrang, nakonsulta ko na to sa doktor, no? Sobrang liit po nung butas. So, hindi po talaga capable of consummating the marriage. So, ganun po. Either walang butas or sobrang liit. Sa guy naman, hindi nagiging erect. Okay? So, tandaan nyo, kahit maiksi, parang si Chiming Choi case, hindi po siya incapable of consummating the marriage. As long as it is capable of being erect. Sabi rin po ng doktor, excuse me, yun po ang difference. No? Sterile versus impotency, watch out na lang. Tapos tandaan nyo, it continues dapat during the marriage and it is incurable. Pag curable naman siya, no? Magaling naman, hindi po siya ground to annul the marriage for obvious reasons. No? Kung gumaling naman, ano problem? Okay. So, tapos na tayo dyan, no? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, dito na tayo sa fraud at saka sa STD. Ito yung gusto ko talagang itakil. Kasi dito, tayo, medyo gugulo. Okay, so sa fraud muna tayo bago tayo mag-STD pala. So, dapat pala i-erase mo na yung mga sinabi ko sa STD before. So, let's go to fraud. Sa fraud po, exclusive ito. Merong 4 instances. No? Exclusive list. Wala na pong iba pa. Okay? Saan ba yun? Here we go. Una is non-disclosure of a crime involving moral turpitude. So, non-disclosure of, well, I need to complete this one. I need to complete the thought of this one. Non-disclosure of a previous conviction by final judgment of the other party of a crime involving moral turpitude. I need to complete this one. Hindi ganyan. Sorry. Yan. Copy paste natin. Okay? So ano po example? VP22. You get the point, no? Tandaan niyo po, dapat na-convict siya. Dapat at the time of the existence, at the time of the solemnization of the celebration of the marriage, meron na po siyang conviction by final judgment. Okay? Pag po siya na-convict during the marriage, sabihin natin, o nagpakasal, the next day, nagnakaw, na-convict, hindi po siya ground to annul the marriage. Okay? Dapat, dapat, nakulong na talaga siya, no? Previous conviction by final judgment, even before. Okay? The celebration of the marriage. Tandaan niyo po ang BP22, it's a crime involving moral turpitude. Pero hindi po lahat ng nako-convict for BP22 imprisonment, no? Iba pong judges, well, karamihan, pag po na-convict for BP22, fine ang fine ang parusa. So pwede talaga makalusot. Pwedeng makalusot kasi nga hindi naman nakulong. So pag hindi nakulong, di ko na i-disclose. Di ba? O slight physical injuries. Aba, moral turpitude yan eh. Nanuntok ka o whatever. Di ba? O, fine lang. Pwedeng fine lang kasi yung parusa. Ba't ko i-disclose? Di ba? So, pwede nga talaga magkaroon ng fraud. Tandaan nyo po, ito po sa lahat na to, yung apat na grounds na yan, the reason why the marriage becomes voidable, 5 pala, I'm sorry. Ang reason po is not even it's not even yung mismong ground. No, hindi po yan. Ang pinapunish po dito, yung hindi mo pagsasabi. Ulitin ko. I need to rephrase it. Ang nagiging pong dahilan dito, ba't nagiging voidable yung marriage, hindi naman po yung conviction eh. Hindi yun. Ang dahilan po dito, yung non-disclosure. Ito po ang pinaka-important. Kasi kung sinabi niya sa pangasawa niya, love, nakulong ako before. Convicted prisoner ako. Wala tayong magagawa. Wala pong ground to annul the marriage kasi there was disclosure of a previous conviction. So, ang talaga pong kasalanan dito, yung non-disclosure, yung concealment. Tatandaan niyo po yan. No? So, hindi lang kailangan previous conviction na makita niyo sa facts, dapat pakita niyo rin na isinikreto niya. Okay? Concealment of STD. Ayan. Concealment of drug addiction. Concealment of homosexuality and so on. Okay. Tandaan po natin, no? Yes. No. Sige. So in short, he did not say that he was an ex-convict of a crime involving moral turpitude. Okay? Next tayo, no? Concealment by the wife that she is pregnant by a man other than her husband at the time of the marriage. So, dapat po, wait, I need to clarify pala, no? Sorry, namali ako. Yung slight physical injuries is not a crime involving moral turpitude. Okay, it's not. Okay? Yung po talagang BPU 22 na lang gamitin nating gamitin nating example, no? Okay? So, mali po pala erase yun. So, let's just focus sa BP22. BP22, no? Basic po yan sa ethics. Basic po yan na kaso na moral turpitude, no? Kasi ano po, dyan po na didisbar ibang mga lawyers na nagpapatalbog ng cheque or na suspend from the practice of law. Okay. So, let's move, no? Concealment by the wife that she was pregnant by a man other than her husband at the time of the marriage. Kung nabuntis po si wife, during the marriage na ng lalaki, hindi po siya ground, no? To annul the marriage. And, ulitin ko, paano kung sinabi niya nung bago sila kasal, love, nagloko ko, ng lalaki ako, nabuntis ako ng ibang lalaki. Pinakasalan pa rin nung husband niya, yung wife. Mahal na mahal niya eh. Wala pong ground to annul the marriage kasi nga walang concealment. Walang concealment. Okay? Okay? Ito yan, no? Third example. Tandaan nyo ha, dalawa pong titingnan natin lagi. Hindi lang po yung pagkakabuntis sa ibang lalaki. Yung concealment din kailangan makita. Kaya nilagay ko rito, no? She did not disclose. I also included this sentence sa example. Okay? She did not disclose that she got pregnant by the best man and not her husband. Okay. Pag sinabi niya, I disclosed that I got pregnant, no, by the best man, not my husband. Sinabi niya ganun talaga bago sila ikasal. Pinakasalan pa rin siya ng husband. Wala tayong magagawa. Valid ang kasal. Okay? Next, concealment of STD existing at the time of the marriage. Tandaan niyo po, dalawang beses nabanggit ang STD dyan sa voidable, 45, 46. Yung sa 45, excuse me, ano po nakasulat? May STD existing at the time of marriage. May STD serious incurable at the time of marriage. So, yung pong sa Article 45, Paragraph 6, kahit po dinisclose niya, no? Sabihin natin yung husband, sabihin natin HIV. Kahit na dinisclose niya sa kanyang wife na siya ay may HIV, serious incurable yan. Meron pa rin pong ground yung wife to annul the marriage. Tandaan nyo. At wala pong free cohabitation sa STD na yan. Article 45, paragraph 6. Meron talagang 4-year period yung wife, in this case, to annul the marriage. Kahit na sinabi sa kanya ng husband before pa sila ikasal na, love, may HIV ako. Pwede pa siyang mag-back out. Okay? Kahit sinabi niya ha. Yung 46 naman po, ano nakalagay? Kinonceal mo yung STD at the time of the marriage. May STD siya bago sila ikasal, nung kinasal sila, may STD siya, kahit na minor STD lang yan. Ano, example, herpes, mga ganyan. Hindi siya ganun kalala. It's curable also. It's not that serious, it's also curable. Okay? Pero hindi mo sinabi. The marriage is voidable. Not because of the gravity of the STD ha. Hindi naman matindi STD, madaling pagalingin yan. It's the fact na nagsinungaling ka. Yun po ang dahilan bakit nagiging voidable ang marriage. So ulitin natin. May HIV. Sinabi talaga na may HIV siya bago sila ikasal. Pwede pang mag-back out. O paano pag sinabi niya talaga na may herpes siya, nagpakasal pa rin yung babae sa kanya. Is the marriage voidable? No. It's valid talaga. Kasi hindi po siya papasok in either scenario. Sa unang scenario, the STD is not serious and it is also curable. Sa pangalawang scenario, hindi rin po papasok kasi walang concealment. Mode of cancellation lang. Since walang papasukan, valid po yung marriage. Okay? So, ganun po ang style, no? Two-tiered test. Pag magtatanong sa inyo ng STD, yung bar, questions, no? Bar exam, tatanong ng STD, para hindi kayo malito, isa-isahin nyo. No? At huwag niyong paghahaluin. O, tingnan niyo muna sa isa. May sinabi, ito yung facts. May STD daw, bla bla bla. O, tingnan niyo muna doon sa una. Pasok ba dito o hindi? O, pagpasok na dyan, ang sagot mo, voidable na agad. Diba? O, pag hindi pasok doon, tingnan mo sa pangalawa. Pasok ba o hindi? Pagpasok, voidable. Pag hindi, valid na talaga yan. Tingnan niyo po, ganun ha. So, ulitin natin yung Article 46 sa fraud, we do not care kung serious o hindi serious, curable o incurable yung STD. Kasi ang problema po natin sa Article 46, yung kasinungalingan ng mga papangasawa. Lahat po yan. Pati sa conviction, hindi naman yung the fact na ex-convict siya, hindi naman yun ang pinapanish, ang ina-address dito eh. Yung kasinungalingan. Yung kasinungalingan. No? Yung kasinungalingan. We get the point. Okay, sige. Let's move to the next ground. Yung kasinungalingan din ha. Kung sinabi niya na drug addict ako dati o lasinggero ako dati, no? Tumutumba ako ng isang case every night. Every night, walang pigil. Weekdays to weekends. Every night, one case ako. Okay? Sinabi niya, nagpakasal sila. Wala pong voidable. marriage diyan. Valid 'yun. Kasi nga kasinungalingan wala. Lastly, kung sinabi niya na, love 'no, bi ako, 'no, I go both ways, 'no. Gusto ko lalaki, kung si groom, sabi ni wife gusto ko babae din. Sinabi niyang gano'n, hindi niya kinonceal. Oh, with that being said, wala pong voidable marriage. That's a valid marriage kasi wala pong fraud. Nothing was concealed. Okay? O last, papaano kung hindi sinabi na siya pala ay bi? No? Kasi yung batas natin wala namang hindi pa siya kasing fluid, no? Hindi pa siya kasing varied as the genders that we now have. So in my opinion, pag bi, pwedeng pumasok dito. Kasi ang context po niyan, pag talaga may sexual attraction sa same sex. Yan. Okay, so whether bi, queer, oo, puwede pong ipasok dito, 'no? So hindi niya sinabi na bi siya, hindi niya sinabi na queer siya. Nalaman nung spouse niya during the marriage na, 'no? Pero dati pa lang meron na talaga siyang inclinations, meron na talaga siyang, gano'n, 'no? May gano'n na siya talagang attraction sa same sex. Okay, voidable. Okay, we get the point. Actually, puwede mo ring i-argue na psychological incapacity. Either way, you can do it. No, either way kung ano gusto. So sabihin natin, naubusan na. Kung ano 'to, itong fraud, 4 years from discovery 'to, eh. Oh, na-discover, 4 na taon na, nakalipas, sabihin natin 10 taon na. Homosexuality, lesbianism, puwede nating sabihing ano, try natin ng psychological incapacity. Kasi puwedeng pumasok, 'no, medyo critical antecedents. It is already existing at the time of the marriage kasi dun pa lang queer na, 'no? Tapos grave. It is grave, 'di ba? Serious psychic cause, 'di ba? Next, kasi siyempre baka yung other spouse hindi naman, 'di ba, hindi naman siya willing na sa gano'ng arrangement, 'di ba? Next, ano pa nga ba yung ano natin, incurable. So, it's persistent, na nakalimutan ko isang ano, irreparable, inevitable breakdown of the marriage. Persistent, isa ako nakakalimutan. You get it? May gano'n din, 'di ba? It's a legal incurable in its legal sense, not medical sense, 'no. O tapos clear and convincing evidence, may nakalimutan akong isa. Anyway, okey na 'yun, 'no. Kung may nakalimutan ba ako isa o wala? Wala naman ata pala. Wala naman, okey. So 'yun, 'no, puwede mo ring i-argue 'yun, 'no. Sabihin natin lumagpas na, 'no, ang 10 years, 'no, 10 years na saka lang nakapag-file. O 'di sa psychological incapacity mo ita-try, okey. Ngayon, yes, na-tackle na 'to, nasabi ko na lahat. So, sa STD, sa number 6 'no, yung STD found to be serious and appears to be incurable. Common examples are HIV and AIDS kasi serious, incurable. Oh, ang AIDS naman parang HIV hindi naman siya yung cure talaga na I'm not a medical expert naman pero parang you just suppress it, 'no, parang I don't quote you on it basta tandaan niyo na lang HIV, AIDS ang normal examples niyan, yung herpes, gonorrhea, chlamydia, yung mga 'yan, 'no. Similar STDs, they are not covered by this ground, 'no. STD serious incurable, eh. So, saan po papasok 'to if ever ulit yung herpes and so on na 'to? Kapag kinonceal, so sa fraud papasok, okey? O na, let's go to the prescription and who may file. So, 'pag above 18, below 21, who can file? Dalawa, either yung magulang o yung mismong contracting party. Yung pong magulang hanggang 21. 'Pag nag-21 na yung, ah, parties concerned, hindi na sila puwedeng mag-contest. So, nag-prescribe na yung period as to them, 'no? Dun po sa contracting parties ang prescriptive period hanggang 26. Kasi 5 years ang binigay sa kanila. Sa unsound mind, ayan nakasulat naman, yung spouse 'no, insane spouse, anytime before the death of either party. So, parang if you think about it, walang prescriptive period. Kasi 'pag namatay yung either party, madi-dissolve na rin yung marriage, 'di ba? And Pag na-dissolve yung marriage, due to death, forever nang valid. Di ba, naalala niyo yan, di ba? Kasi it can only be contested during the lifetime of the spouses pag voidable. Eh, namatay na. Na-dissolve na yung marriage. So, yung marriage na yun, valid na talaga. Wala nang bawian. Yung insane spouse, kailan? During lucid interval, sanity. Pati pali guardian, yan, guardian of the insane spouse pala kasali sa taas. Okay? Ayan. Fraud. 5 years from discovery. May nabanggit akong 4 years kanina. Mali, no? 5 years. 5 years. No? Ba't ba sinabi kong 4 years? Nalito na kasi 4 years sa oblikod. Okay, I'm sorry. 5 years. Okay. Fraud existing at the time of marriage, 5 years. Forced intimidation, undue influence, 5 years. Sa fraud pala, no, discovery, no? So, flexible siya. Hindi siya yung 5 years pagkatapos kinasal, tatakbo na yung 5 years. No. It will only run nung na-discover na. Okay? Forced intimidation, once it disappears, STD, at the time of the marriage. Celebration of the marriage. Bakit po? Kasi ang presumption, pagkakasal, syempre, di ba, magko-consummate na ng, magse-sexual intercourse na. So sabihin natin, sa physically incapable of consummating, malalaman mo na agad. Di ba? Same day of the marriage, kung capable ba na magkaroon ng penetration, di ba? So, get nyo na yan. Same thing din po sa STD. No? Magkakaalaman na. Okay, agad. So, we get the point. No? Sa legal separation po, ito, last itong discussion natin for, yes, last discussion to for status of marriage. After nito, the family na, and then family home, and then we go to the good stuff, no? Sa property regime, property relation. So, ito na yung marriage settlement, donation by reason of marriage, and then talaga yung matitinding mga tanungan na absolute community, alam nyo na yan, conjugal partnership, at saka complete separation of property. Ang laging tinatanong doon yung spousal consent sa deed of sale. Walang palya yun, halos every year. Okay. So, dito tayo sa legal SEP, no? 10 yan, masyado madami, no? I-subgroup natin. Para simple. Physical, sexual, criminal acts, at saka abandonment. Mahilig akong gumawa ng ganyan, kung napapansin nyo. Tagal na tayo nag-uusap, no, sa discussion. Pag mahaba yung listahan, mahaba yung enumeration, gusto ko talaga, kinukumpul-kumpul ko yung mga may commonalities, may common features. Kasi instead na 10 ang tatandaan ko, 4 na lang. Like ito, physical, 3. Repeated physical abuse. O, di ba? Violence, so gross abusive conduct. Next, physical abuse to change religion. O, maala ka pa, political affiliation. Attempt against the life of the petitioner. O, alala ko. So, sa sexual naman tayo, sexual infidelity. Tama ba ako? Yes. Perversion. Ayan. Corruption or attempt to corrupt. No? Tama ba? Yes. The spouse or the children, di ba? To engage in prostitution. Tapos, homosexuality or lesbianism. Naalala ko pa, tino? Criminal acts. Nakulong. Nakulong lahat. 6 years ba imprisonment? Tama ba ako? O, tama. Hindi ko naalala. Drug, alcohol, saka contracting a bigamous marriage. So, nakalimutan ko yun. Lastly is abandonment, more than 1 year. O, tingnan mo, kahit paano, di ba? Ngayon ko lang naman binasa ulit, pero medyo nare-recall ko pa. So, ganun. So, sa unang 3 tayo, repeated physical violence. So, unang bugbugan. Binugbog lang just because gustong bugbugin. Hindi mo po siya ground for legal separation. Kailangan 2 times. Kasi repeated eh. Okay? Pero pag po yung physical violence kahit 1 time at nang bugbog po to change yung political or religious affiliation ng spouse. Sabihin natin yung spouse is Roman Catholic, gusto maging same ng religion as the husband. O, tapos yung husband, pinagbuhatan ng kamay yung wife para kumbinsihin na lumipat sa religion niya. O, that's a ground for legal separation. Attempt against the life, obvious. Um, I don't have to illustrate that anymore, no? To expound on that. Sexual, okay? To engage in prostitution, either yung wife or yung anak. Tama ba ako? Yes, common child of the petitioner. Okay. Sexual infidelity, perversion, so you get the point, no? Sexual infidelity, pangangabit. Okay. Homosexuality, natakala natin earlier. Criminal acts, final judgment. Ito po, hindi kailangan ng concealment. Tandaan nyo ha. Kasi hindi ko pala na-illustrate sa inyo yung pong annulment of marriage at saka po yung legal separation. Ang malaki pong pagkakaiba niyan, yung reckoning period kung kailan nagkaroon ng defect. Okay? Yung annulment of marriage, meron na pong defect at the time of the marriage. Kung mapapansin niyo po yung legal separation, yung pong defect nangyari during the marriage na, hindi po at the time of the celebration of the marriage. So like yan, homosexuality, lesbianism, kapag kinonsilyan at the time of the celebration of the marriage, voidable kasi fraud. Pero pag hindi naman kinonsil, hindi kinonsil, alam na homosexual yung kanyang asawa, legal sep lang yan. Or, hindi man homosexual before, naging homosexual during their marriage na. Legal separation. Same goes with the lesbianism. Di ba? So, saan po nagkaiba? Sa reckoning point. At saka sa concealment. Kailan ba kinonceal? Okay? So, pag ulitin ko, pag yan, naging homosexual na lang, nung kinasal na sila, aba, walang ground to annul the marriage. Ang ground mo is to legally separate. At pag legal separation, hindi ko pala nailagay dito, in legal separation, yung ang kailang at talagang hinihingi no para dito, ang gusto talaga ng parties for this one are two things. To live separately, different houses, no? At yung mas important, distribution na, separation of property. Judicial separation of property is the proper term, no? Kasi kung gusto niyo lang maghiwalay, mag-iba kayo ng bahay, well, another pa pala is adoption. Kasi pag legally separated na, hindi na kailangan ng spousal consent, hindi na kailangan ng spousal consent, hindi na kailangan mag-jointly adopt pag legally separated na yung spouses. So, tatlo pala yung important dyan. Yung isa sa Administrative Adoption Act. Okay. Ngayon, kung gusto niyo lang naman tumira sa ibang bubong, hindi niyo kailangan mag-legal sep. Yun ang point ko. Di ba? Hiwalay na lang kayo. Magkakagasta pa. Di ba? So, ang pinaka-important reason bakit tayo nag-legal sep is yung property para maging judicially separated siya. Okay? Sige. So, physical, tatlo. Repeated physical violence to change, political, religious affiliation, at saka attempt against the life. Sexual infidelity. Okay, tandaan niyo, pangangabit hindi po siya ground to annul, hindi siya ground to nullify. Unless papasok na naman tayo, may psychological incapacity. Pag psychological incapacity, again, may reckoning point na naman. It must exist at the time of the marriage din kasi. Celebration of the marriage, di ba? Juridical antecedents. Pag nangabit lang, wala namang manifestation before na nangangabit na. Nagkaroon lang ng pangangabit nung kasal na sila, 10 years into their marriage. So, legal separation ka lang. Okay? Excuse me. Get the point. No? When will the petition for legal separation be denied? So, condonation. Pag sinabi mo condonation, pinatawad. Pag sinabi mong consent, pinayagan. So, ang condonation, it happens after. It happens after, sabihin natin, the pangangabit, sexual infidelity. Pag consent, pinayagan mong mangabit. Either way, denied ang petition. Okay? So, ang condonation po, it can be expressed, it can be implied. Ang consent po, always express. Wala pong implied consent dito. Okay? Condonation can be implied. Ano po? After mangabit, nalaman mong nangabit, nakipag-sex ka doon sa asawa mo. That is implied condonation. Okay? Having sexual intercourse after the sexual infidelity of the guilty spouse. Okay. Connivance, no? Sabihin natin, sa prostitution, yung talagang husband at saka yung wife, nag-consent sila na gagawin nilang negosyo. Di ba? So, denied po ang petition kasi pareho nilang gusto yan. Di ba? Ngayon naman, alam nyo, kumakalat, di ba, sa online. Na, syempre, ibente katawan nila. Pareho sila magkasosyo doon. Denied ang petition. No? Collusion to obtain the decree. Ibig sabihin ng collusion, hindi po yung mismong ground. pero yung tactics ng mag-asawa para makapag-obtain ng favorable ruling. Okay? Paano po yan? Usually, the respondent willfully fails to attend the hearing. Para madalian yung petitioner. Oh, that's one ground, no? That's one ground, that's one instance kung saan may collusion. Okay. Another is kung may psychologist nagsinungaling sila para, alam niyo na, nagsinungaling yung petitioner sa respondent para favorable sa kanila yung findings ng psychologist. Para talagang pang-separation na sila. Both spouses gave grounds, no, for legal separation. Sabihin natin, pareho sila nangangaliwa. O yung husband, homosexual, yung wife, lesbian. Pareho silang kulong. Pareho silang nakulong before. Pareho silang addict. Pareho silang alcoholic. Okay? Pareho silang nagkasakitan. Get it? Pareho silang nag-attempt against the life of each other. Okay? Sige. We got the point. Prescription, no? The action must be filed within 5 years from the occurrence of the cause. So, ulitin ko po ulit. Sorry for saying yung 4 years. Mali po yun. Sa annulment, 5 years. Sa legal sep, 5 years din po. No? So, nalito lang po. No? Nalito lang. Okay. Patapos na tayo sa status of marriage, no? Okay. So, eto na, nabanggit ko na, no? Ito yung pinaka-important dyan. I-add nyo na rin yung sa adoption, no? Tandaan nyo yun. Pag legally separated na, hindi na kailangan mag-joint adoption. Okay? Read na lang itong the rest, no? Hindi siya masyadong kailangan sa donation and stuff. Okay. So, reconciliation, no? Joint manifestation, okay? In the same proceeding for legal separation. Okay. No, ito mali ito. Delete to. Since the contracting parties have reconciled, should the property regime become ACP or CPG again? No, unless the parties, no, agree to revive, no, the former property regime. Yun ang sagot. Ayan, nakalagay na rin pala. So, as a rule, ACP, CPG may only commence at the precise moment of celebration. Mali yung question. Sabihin natin, can the property regime become ACP, CPG again? Mas maganda yun. Can, hindi dapat should. Can, pwede ba? Yes. No? Yan. As a rule, ACP, CPG may only commence at the precise moment of celebration of marriage. Any stipulation for the commencement of at any other time is void. As an exception, ACB, CPG can commence post-marriage if the spouses who were legally separated reconciles and agrees to revive their former property regime. So, in case of silence, hindi nila sinabi kung ano ba gusto nilang property regime. Separation of property pa rin po tayo. Judicial separation of property. Kung silent po, no? Kasi they have to agree. If there was no agreement, ang agreement lang nila, magbati na tayo, judicial separation of property pa din. Okay, we get the point there. Next video natin, the family na po tayo. Thank you.